We've been doing a study on insecurity. And in our studies here, we've studied the foundations of insecurity by studying the life of Leah. We've looked at the fact that some of the foundations for insecurity are fear. Fear, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind. But when we are living in fear that we're going to lose something or someone, we live insecure. We can have the foundation of insecurity and a pressure to perform when we feel like that we're always one mistake away from being cast away, as Leah was, and abandoned and unloved. Another foundation for insecurity was comparison. Leah was always comparing herself with Rachel, who was more beautiful, more loved, more etc., etc., etc. She had these 3 children, and Jacob never turned towards her at all. It didn't change anything. We have the foundation for fear when we are afraid of losing, and it will always control our life. We begin then to look at the consequences of insecurity. When we live an insecure life, what happens to us? Well, number 1, we will live a life always in competition. In Genesis chapter number 30 and verse number 8, Rachel finally has a child. And it says in Rachel, "With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed." Now, I don't think they were rolling around on the ground trying to pin each other, but rather that there was this unnecessary competition going on between Leah and Rachel. Where there should have been a great relationship between them as sisters, there was instead of feelings of competition, resentment, and jealousy. Another consequence of living insecurity is having relationship problems. When we feel insecure, we struggle to look at others the way that we should. We always deal with things such as trust issues. People that have trust issues that says, "I just don't trust people." They have relationship issues, and it's always because of insecurity. People with insecurity will always be suspicious, wonder what the ulterior motives are, and end up with being unkind and living an isolated life. Instead of reaching out to others, we're bound by insecurity. People living insecure lives feel trapped. They won't be able to enjoy relationships, and they'll struggle with the relationships that should be so precious to them. Think about Leah. I know she had some struggles with her father. People with insecurity issues will have issues with the relationship with their parents, with their partners, their spouses. People living insecure life will struggle just as Leah was. With their peers, with their friends, they'll struggle in insecurity. And then also with their pastors and teachers. But the fact is this, people that live insecure life won't be able to build strong relationships. Marriages that are falling apart is because of a whole lot of insecurity. Children that are wayward from their parents are because of insecurity. Insecurity robs the ability to build strong relationships. The consequences are competition, relationship problems, and this negativity. You see, when we're insecure, all we can ever see is the negative of everything. When we're insecure, the fact is this, we always feel like there's never enough. When we're insecure, we always look at things as if God is going to fail us, or we're always going to lack, or things aren't going to work out. It's always about the rules. It's always about the restrictions. And we think that God is failing us and that it's never going to be okay, and insecurity. So we've seen the foundations for insecurity. We have seen the consequences of insecurity. But my friend, there is a cure. And if you struggle with insecurity, I'd encourage you, tomorrow's devotions, bring a Bible, bring a piece of paper, and let's get the cure for insecurity.